أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear friends, welcome to Idea Foundation Forum. Today, in lecture 309, we will discuss Qur'anic Miracles about water cycle, part 2, under the Qur'an and Modern Sciences. In part 1, we discussed 7 miracles of the Quran related to hydro or water cycle. Now we will discuss 5 more miracles related to this area. So dear friends, 8th miracle is regarding how rainwater gives life to a dead land. The Quran revealed this information more than 1400 years ago, which has been witnessed by science just recently. This miraculous information is given in Ayat 5 of Surah Al-Hajj in the words, listen. وَتَرَى الْأَرْضَ هَامِدَةً فإذا أنزلنا عليها الماء اهتزت وربت وأنبتت من كل زوج بهيج. Translation is, and you see the earth dead and barren, but when we send down upon it rain, it quivers and swells and grows something of every beautiful kind. Meanings of 3 words, ahtazat, varabat, vaambatat, need special attention. Ahtazat means quivers, come alive, stir. Rabat means to swell, to increase, fill with air. And ambatat means sprouting. Ambatat means sprouting from the soil to grow, to flourish. Taken together, these words precisely explain the changes that occur in the molecular structure of soil during rain, making it fertile for plants to grow, to come out and flourish. Science has now explained these stages exactly in the same sequence. Quivering of soil occurs due to electrostatic charge caused by rainfall on the soil in adequate amount. Since the water particles move in multiple directions, not on single direction, multiple directions, they cause chaotic impact on the soil particles, letting a kind of shaking and vibration in the soil molecules. As a result, these particles serve as water deposits containing fertilizing minerals. It lets the seeds become active, absorb nutrients from the held mineral deposits, and sprout the plants out of the earth, from the earth. The Quran truly describes this process in 3 words, ahtazat, varabat, and anbatat. 3 words. So dear friends, 9th miracle. 9th miracle relates to water as source of life, its unity and sustainability. Sustainability and unity of life. The Quran has told water as source of all types of life in several of its verses. I quote 4 of them here. Ayat 30 of Surah Al-Anbiya says, and made from water every living things. I am just quoting the relevant portion of the ayat. Ayat 45 of Surah An-Nur says, Allah has created every living creature from water. Ayat 54 of Surah Al-Furqan says, and it is He, Allah, who has created from water a human being and made him a relative by lineage and marriage. Ayat 10 of Surah Luqman says, and disperse therein, in the land, in the earth, from every creature. And we sent down rain from the sky and made grow therein plants of every noble kind. The Quran has also revealed water as a source of sustainability of the earth itself and life of plants, animals, and human beings on it, on the earth. A table containing Quranic verses in this respect is displayed on the screen. You may consult at your available time. Chemistry of life. Chemistry of life revealed by the Quran in the 7th century has been witnessed by science recently. Just imagine, this is the miracle of Quran. 70% of the human body comprises of water. Now this science says. Science witnesses the truth of the Quran. 70% of the human body comprises of water. In fact, all living organisms, including plants and animals, are predominantly water-based. Water is chemically a compound of hydrogen and oxygen, symbolized as H2O. Water and oxygen are two most essential ingredients of life. Water has been made an effective solvent capable of dissolving solutes like sodium, chloride, and other small molecules to form an aqueous solution capable of sustaining life. Water also has higher capacity to absorb energy that helps in breaking the hydrogen bonds between water molecules to convert liquid water into gas. It is specific energy level that lets water to be converted into oxygen in the processes of photodissociation in the atmosphere and photosynthesis in the plant life, providing essentials of life to animals and humans. So, dear friends, 10th miracle. It regards to the verses that give symbolic explanation of the divine acts of nature and the day of judgment, describing various hydrological wonders which have now been appreciated by science after having found conformity data in the respective areas. Revival of dead land by virtue of rain is proffered as an argument in favor of the day of judgment or day of resurrection. By presenting such wonders of nature, the man is not compelled to believe in the divinity working behind them, behind the universal operations. Rather, man has been desired to employ his intellect to find the truth by observing these phenomena of nature. These verses also prompt us to enhance our intellectual capacity to appreciate truly the divine order and the revelations of Quran. Verses related to this subject are shown on the screen, however, a few of them are quoted here. Ayat 58 of Surah Al-Araf says, and the good land its vegetation emerges by permission of its Lord. But that which is bad land, nothing emerges except sparsely with difficulty. Thus, do we diversify the signs for a people who are grateful? Ayat 4 of Surah Ar-Ra'd says, and within the land are neighboring plots. One plot here, other is here, other is here. And gardens of grapevines and crops and palm trees growing several from a root or otherwise watered with one water. But we make some of them exceed others in quality of fruit. This is a miracle. Indeed, in that are signs of a people who reason, who think. Ayat 17 of Surah Ar-Ra'd says, He sends down from the sky rain and valleys flow according to their capacity. And the torrent carries a rising foam, and from that which they heat in the fire, desiring adornments and utensils, is a foam like it. Thus Allah presents the example of truth and falsehood. As for the foam, it vanishes, being cast off. But as for that which benefits the people, it remains on the earth. Thus does Allah presents the examples. Ayat 30 of Surah Al-Anbiya says, Have those who disbelieved not considered that the heavens and the earth were a joint entity, one entity, and we separated them and made from water every living thing. Then will they not believe? Ayat 9 of Surah Fatir says, And it is Allah who sends the winds, and they stir the clouds, and we drive them to a dead land, and give life thereby to the earth after its lifelessness. Thus is the resurrection. As the dead land re-enliven, likewise the episode of resurrection is to be happened. Ayat 30 of Surah Al-Mulk says, Say, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, say, have you considered if your water was to become sunken into the earth, then who could bring you flowing water, fresh water? So, dear friends, 11th miracle may be subscribed to the Quran's revealing information on the flow of springs caused by hydrocycle. It means springs are also caused by hydrocycle. Ayat 21 of Surah Az-Zumar reveals this fact in a very precise manner in the words, Do you not see that Allah sends down rain from the sky and makes it flow as springs and rivers in the earth? The word Yanabi'a in the verse means springs. Science could appreciate this fact just in the last century. In the past, people believed that the waters of oceans used to thrust into the interior of the continents by the force of winds and later emerged as springs, then flowed through rivers towards the oceans. Even the great philosopher Descartes advocated this factual error even in the 17th century, which has been repeated by several followers of Aristotle till 19th century. Science could find just recently that the rainwater seeps into the ground or at the mountains and makes a reservoir underground. When it exceeds the capacity of a respective cavity, it emerges as a spring and flows downstream, making its course towards ocean in the shape of rivers. This scientific explanation is in conformity with the Quranic information revealed in the 7th century and thus witnesses the divinity of Quran. Dear friends, 12th miracle may be ascribed to the miraculous information revealed by the Quran that the continental land, livable, land, the continental land is persistently shrinking, it is reducing. Ayat 41 of Surah Ar-Ra'd and Ayat 44 of Surah Al-Anbiya say, have they not seen that we set upon the land, reducing it from its borders? Just imagine, it is the information given in the 7th century when there was no means to measure this, these changes happening over the centuries. It refers to a fact that could be witnessed by science just in the 20th century. With growing atmospheric temperature, the ice caps at north and south poles are thinning, are reducing, are becoming thinner and thinner. As a consequence, the ocean levels are rising and the land is being encroached along its borders by the ocean. This is the current scientific discovery which was foretold by the Quran in the 7th century. Alfred Wegener, a German scientist, proposed in his book The Origin of the Continents and Oceans in 1912 that the continents were drifting apart, a theory known as continental drift. He observed that the coasts of Western Africa and Eastern South America appeared to have been originally a single piece around 225 million years ago, and later on it splitted and drifted apart to become continents. This joint landmass was named Pangaea at some stage in the past. Recently, New York Times substantiated this trend by reporting that over the last century, average surface temperature of the globe has risen by 1 degree Fahrenheit, accelerating melting of the ice caps. Studies at NASA have found that the ice cover of Arctic basins has thinned by 45% during 1950s and 1990s during these 40 years. Satellite images have also supported the view that ice cover on the north and south poles has significantly thinned in recent years, causing rise in water level of oceans and oceanic encroachment on continental lands. Thus, these findings establish the truth of the Quranic revelations reducing land from its border in Surah Ar-Ra'd and Surah Al-Anbiya, witnessing the divinity of Quran. Allahu Akbar. So, dear friends, with this we conclude our discussion under lecture 309. Please do subscribe Idea Foundation YouTube channel to watch videos of previous lectures and join us for the noble cause. Thank you very much, friends, for participation. Allah Hafiz.